Well, it's about time. I don't know. There's Katie. I didn't smash anything. I didn't break it. I don't know how we're going to get us both in the shot in this camera. Well, you should be the one in the shot. You're better looking than I am, that's for sure. Forgive me tonight. I am definitely going to be having some beers. Not that I didn't before, but good God, what time is it? Only
not quite 6:30.
Not quite a half hour late. Mind you, I started working on this as soon as I got home. So like an hour and a half of, well, almost 2 hours trying to get this working. And I appreciate all you guys have been trying to help. Jesse reached out to us. You guys are like giving us moral support, and I really do appreciate it. One thing about me, though, once I start getting angry, I forget to think. What do you say about that? No,
What do I say?
Yeah, what do you say?
I just let you go. I learned to let you be.
Let it go.
Don't even start with that.
Let it go. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to move closer together or something.
Well, I'm as smushed as I can be, so you're going to have to
move this out of the way. I won't need this. I won't need that. I can extend this over a little bit. Oh, maybe. Sorry about the microphone noise. Shouldn't be too bad. And then you come over this way a little more. Oh, hold on to your base. Oh, I don't know. We're just not doing very good tonight. Oh, that's so bad. I can't wait to reset all this up. So we got a different setup that I want to do. And on top of that, some reason our emails did not reach our special guest, but I think that he is in the chat room still. Let's check it out. Where's the comments? Is Rod still here?
There he is.
Well, he was in here earlier. Rod, are you still here? Because I'll put out the link, but you guys have to understand it is for Rod only. He's still here. Good. And no offense, everybody. I just wanted to email him the link, and it didn't work, so we got to get him up here. Curtis is here. That's great. Jeff has been here. He was the first one here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Normally it's Jesse going, Katie. Katie. Katie!
All right. How do I do this? It's been so long. Copy. Thanks, Curtis. Put a link on the screen here. You saw it in the chat. Check out Rod's channel. We also have another shout out for a very special channel later on. Definitely want to let you guys know about that. It's okay, Jeff. If you're deeply offended, so am I. We can be offended together. All right, let's paste. You can try to show up in the back screen, but chances are... Oh, wait. We'll let Katie on. That's only because she's administrator on here.
Thanks.
That's a horrible shot anyways. I don't know.
Well, the way you have me sitting with my mic, it's all mic.
There's a link for you, Rod. If you're familiar with StreamYard, I think you are. As soon as I see you come up, we'll get you on here. But let me tell you about my Monday. It was a good day. I feel like I'm muffled. Like my knobs got all turned. You know, after Rod gets the link, you can delete it. Oh, good thinking. I'm thinking I might have got hacked.
I think you did.
I think there's some big channels out there that are like, we have to shut him down one way or the other. It's too popular. Let's screw up his camera access. Oh, good. He made it. Let's pop him up. No further ado. Let's get right on the stage. Wait, he froze up a little bit. You froze up? You're going to have the same problems I did? Wait, there we go. It's working. All right, everybody, let's welcome Rod to the stage. I can't hear you yet, bud, but we're about to. There he is. Sorry, dude.
Hey, guys.
It took so long.
It's all good. How are you guys doing?
Hi.
I didn't
Well,
know. I
aside
saw him on my
from
phone
Better
because
now.
I didn't know
2 hour.
how I would be. How this was gonna go down.
Well, that's fine.
Thanks for
It
having me
works.
on. You guys can hear me?
Well, of course. We've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Yeah, we hear you just fine.
Cool.
You glitch out once in a while, like it freezes or something, but it catches up.
Yeah, the kids weren't going down easy.
So,
But I made it.
how was your Monday?
Today was pretty good. I was off today, so just hung out. I usually do all my maintenance on Mondays, so do that after this. It's been a good 45 minutes. Doing all the tanks.
That's not bad.
I don't know if you guys saw. I started a saltwater tank 2 weeks ago.
Did you?
I haven't
Cool.
I haven't posted. I just did like a little teaser in my last video at the very end. But I'll show you.
You did, yeah. You showed it. It was in your bedroom, right? You were like, got tank in the room.
Yeah.
You're gonna
I
show us
convinced
that?
the wife to allow it.
Nice. Very cool.
I got the. If you could see the ceiling, I have the light hanging from the ceiling, so there's nothing showing under the TV. Pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, for sure.
No,
That's really
no
awesome.
fish yet. Just letting
That's
it
a good
cycle.
idea. Yeah.
What kind of fish do you want to put in there?
I'm just gonna do clowns, a shrimp, and corals. Nothing crazy. I've never been. It's my first saltwater tank, so just gonna take it slow.
Yeah.
Don't blame you.
You're braver than we are. We haven't tried a saltwater thing yet, but you know our local, semi-local fish store doesn't have saltwater stuff anyway. But eventually, I'd like to try it out.
Pestering me. So like, we have all these tanks. We don't have a saltwater tank. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll make one. It's going in the bedroom.
Nice.
I'm exhausted of space.
That's
I got no
cool,
more
man.
room down here.
Yeah. Well, I could kind of see on the one last video that daughter's got quite a bit of real estate down there.
Yeah, I'm in that room
Right?
now.
She's got her toys and stuff.
It's just like
Yeah.
their side. But I just took the
That's
one side
awesome.
for the tank. I said once the kids are out, I'm taking the whole other wall to be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So we got a really nice like theater set up down here. So like
Yeah.
I watch TV and then I have the tank right next to me. It's pretty sweet.
Nice. That's the way to do it. If we had our tanks inside the house and not out in our shop, I'd do that. It's just not sure about our floor. You know, our basement is really a cellar, kind of a rock wall thing, so I don't have like. I worry about tank weight. And out here we got cement slabs, so it makes sense.
All
So
my
I
tanks are in my
envy
basement
people
except
like you
for
that can
small.
have running water by their tanks.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that when I did my live stream that you have to like
Yeah.
run a like super long hose or something.
Well, either that in the summertime or in the wintertime, it's buckets from the bathroom inside to the garage. 5-gallon pails at a time.
I mean, if that's not dedication, I don't know what is. That just shows you're really into the hobby. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't
Yeah.
even want to do it when there's sinks right next to their tanks.
Right.
So
Yeah.
That's
backbreaking
awesome.
work sometime, but love it.
You guys ever get fish mailed to you, or you
I'm
always
glad we
get
got you on here. Yep.
me as well?
Well,
Shrimp so far, but nothing
that's the only
live
thing.
other than the shrimp.
Yeah,
We've had them delivered personally.
yeah.
That's cool.
Last week we had a personal package. I don't think the guy likes us talking about it too much, or he's just very, very humble person. But he brought us some fish, and it's awesome. The plecos that we just got, and some blue star endlers, and the only thing I really wanted to get from him was the black moor goldfish, because he had some babies, and our last one that we had passed away, and we really liked him. And when I found out that he was breeding them, I said, "Oh, those would be nice." So, and he kind of hinted at it. It's cool. He's another Wisconsinite, lives near us, and brought him over and brought us a whole lot more besides. So it was really cool.
That's awesome.
When you get gifts from a friend, and he just gives them to you, it's kind of a special thing. Instead of going out and buy them, that's one thing. Everybody does that, but when they come from a friend,
Yeah, I was telling my wife we were just in Aruba last week, and I said I wanted to go snorkeling and try to catch a clownfish. I know this sounds ridiculous, but how cool would it be to catch the fish that's in your tank? I don't know. I thought there was something cool about that
Yeah,
idea.
that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't happen.
Yeah,
Not that the tank cycled are ready for it anyway, but there was no Nemos to be found.
What about dories?
I didn't see that either.
I don't remember what the name of that fish is.
Which one?
I don't remember what the name of the fish that's dory. Blue, skinny, tall fish.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's funny because my wife is like, "What fish is this?" I'm like, "I'm just getting into the saltwater. I know the freshwater fish." I'm like, "I don't know all these saltwater fish." I feel like a noob when I go into the local fish store. I'm like, "So how big does this one get?" I feel like I'm starting all over again.
Yeah,
Oh, Skull says it's the blue tang.
blue tang.
Yeah,
I know I've heard it before. I just couldn't remember.
sorry, I'm moving my camera so much.
Well, we got a lot of people in the. Oh, that's all right, man. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad because I was wondering. We kept sending emails.
Yeah,
I
I don't know
wasn't
what
getting
was
any
going on with
responses, and yeah, me neither. Because I
even
asked
tried
him
sending
like,
a
"Well,
different email.
that'd be great." Yeah,
Whatever.
I
Whatever.
believe
I'm
we've
here
been
now.
hacked. I told you we've been hacked. It's probably Joey. Joey Mullen getting all jealous and stuff.
I'm thinking
Flipping me
about
off
putting
and
plants on the top of this
hacking my
thing.
computer.
Do you have any tanks like that with the plants on top coming out the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, our 75 has pothos coming out, and at one point we had the Wandering
can't
Jew
really see
and the Purple Heart, but we took those out and kept the pothos.
Well,
Oh, nice.
on the wall right about here, that's pegboard. And so I got the
Okay.
pothos growing up. And my mic stands in the way.
I see it. Very nice. Yeah, I want to do something like that right here on top of this thing. Because I just feel like it looks so plain. If I could have plants going up that wall, I think it would be pretty cool.
Yeah. What we were doing with our goldfish tank back when it was over here, and you might see it in some of our earlier videos, we had a bog, like a trough. It's a livestock feeding trough that's designed to hang on a fence. And drilled some holes and just had water continuously going through it, pumping in and then draining back out above it. And we put spider plants, just baby spider plants, threw them in there with clay ball, and they grew, 1.5 to 2 feet in like a month.
Awesome.
Just from all the fish water or whatever. It's just aquaponics, basic aquaponics, but whether or not you have the roots dipped into the water, which we had a hard time doing with our goldfish. So that's why we came up with that idea, because goldfish like to eat everything. Because the fish die. Not the fish, the plants die. My brain's scattered from this crap earlier. But anyways, we found that, having an external bog to put them in, the plants into, kept everything out of the actual tank, but using the same water, kept the water a lot better, and they grow like crazy. But the pothos is great for pretty much anything that you could grow as a house plant. I think you could grow aquaponically. I haven't tried them all yet, but
Pothos, peace lily, monstera,
spider plants,
purple hearts, wandering Jew, or wandering dudes.
Yeah, you can't say Jew anymore.
Basically anything that likes a wet foot, but it's not gonna rot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into it a little bit more.
There's tons of different plant holders. I'm sure you've probably looked into that, but
yeah, I've seen those.
Different ways to put them in there. Even like we did one time, just putting a pool noodle on the back, and it kind of looks. It was okay for a while, but the foam kind of got funky. But cut like a pipe insulation or pool noodle, stick that along the back side of the tank, and cut slits, and then you can just jab your plants into that and let the roots hang down in the water.
I've seen like little potholes that clip onto the back. And then
and if you got right, if you got a lid, I guess it kind of gets in the way of that, but it all depends on your setup.
I have lids on this tank and my 90. My 20 doesn't need a lid, the one you can't see in because it's the blackest tank ever. The lid is the is the redwood floaters that just take over everything, and I can't. It's like solid. Cool. It's actually like ridiculous how fast. I was just posting about it on Reddit actually because I was like, maybe I'll put a light. Like I've seen a submersible lights, and I was like, maybe I'll put one like in the back corner so it'll light up on the inside. And they're like, well, why don't you just take out the redwood floaters? I'm like, no, I don't want to take out the redwood floaters. It looks so cool having all the plants on top.
Yeah, it is cool.
I can't try to get better light.
It's definitely cool.
And so yeah,
that's something that we've always been attracted to your channel about, that your ability to grow plants. And one thing that we haven't tried out either is using CO2, because I know you do that CO2 injection, and to me it's a bit scary just because it's something new, something different for us, but you got an awesome setup with that.
Yeah, I have it right here. This is my CO2 setup. It looks more intimidating than it is. It's pretty simple actually.
I bet.
I have it set up on a timer just like I do my lights, and when it turns on, once you set it and like you got it dialed in, you never have to touch it again. It's really pretty simple. Even if you have to change the canister, or the cylinder rather, you're just shutting down the cylinder, taking that off the regulator and putting on the replacement. You don't have to dial it in again after. It's still going to let the same amount of CO2 into your tank.
Yeah.
I guess
it's more of the dialing it in part that scares me, I guess.
It's not bad. You could do it, I promise. I actually just posted a video like saying how I used to have this is like injected into the filter, and I hate that way. I highly recommend just getting it inside the tank with something like that. If you can see it, yeah, that one. It's way easier to clean. The ones that are in line with your filter, they get like the brown nastiness that you get from in any filter line, and you have to change it like every 8 weeks, and it's just a pain to shut off the filter. Some water's going to come out. It's just like a whole thing, and it's just not worth it. You're better off with the in the tank one that just lets the bubbles come up, in my opinion.
I saw that video that you put out about that, comparing the two. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah, after that video, it's like a no-brainer.
I had CO2 in this tank, and I took it off because, like, once everything grows and is full, you don't need it anymore. now, like everything is where I want it to be. I don't need it to grow any crazier. So I shut down the CO2 for probably 3 weeks now, and all the plants are still great. There's no like plants like I thought maybe the plants would be like so used to CO2 that when I switch back, they would be like upset or like maybe die back a little bit. Not even in the slightest bit. They just stopped growing at an extreme rate. So it worked out good.
Well, that was the other thing I wanted to ask you about too, because you had mentioned that in the video that you stopped using it, and that it made me think about, well, okay, maybe we could use it to jumpstart a planted tank to kind of get the plants more established, because that's kind of the harder part that we found with doing a planted tank is that sometimes the balance doesn't happen as quickly until the plants are bigger
100%.
and more fuller.
It's a hobby of patience, and sometimes that ugly early stage of a full planted tank when you're just looking at it. When I look back at the pictures of my 90 when it was first started, it looked like a barren wasteland. It's so ugly, and now you could barely see through it. There's so many plants, so some people just want to jump through that, and it also does make the plants like a little bit more robust. Like you'll have more leaves per stem per se, and they'll be like just a little bit beefier because they're getting more more of the power to grow. So like I said, you start it, and I dialed back on my 90. I don't put in as much CO2 as I used to. I used to have to trim that thing every single 7 to 10 days. Now I could go 2-3 weeks. I still put CO2, but I just dialed it back a little bit. And all the plants are still red. Everything's still growing great, but I'm not totally swarmed. If that makes sense.
One of the favorite fish that I see that you have, and I want them really bad, are those harlequins, the Rasboras.
Oh, they're over here.
That you have around the corner there.
Yeah, they're
First of all, I love that tank. I like the setup on the scaping on that. I've been toying around with different ideas of doing something similar, but man, those Rasboras are just cool.
It took a lot of sand to make this slope, because over here it's probably 8 inches high, so to have this whole slope all the way down, it was a good amount of sand. And I actually messed up a little bit, because you can see right here there's a bag, so I had bags filled with gravel so I didn't have to use as much sand. Mm-hmm. And I didn't put enough soil on top of that one bag, when the panda cories rustle around in the in the sand, they dug it up, and I'm trying to figure out how to remedy it. They like to hide in the back. Oh, there they go. Well, this thing's cool though. I like it because it really it's the exact opposite of my other tanks. There's almost no plants, just a carpet. I just threw this Japanese 3-leaf clover plant here to see if that would stay low and do a carpet with that. We'll see how it turns out.
I like the rocks in that, definitely.
Oh, the dragonstone?
I was thinking of trying to do something. Yeah, I was thinking of trying to do a similar setup, but be able to leave the bottom open so you could see it from the outside, and maybe some access holes where certain fish could swim underneath.
Oh, like a tunnel system. That would be cool.
Yeah, so they could go in through the top and have very much like yours, like a grassy hill with some rocks, and then they could swim underneath and have a corridor or something cool with stalactites or something holding it up. But I don't know. I'd like that tank really inspired me to kind of think about different aquascapes and different ways of doing stuff, because it's something different that I never saw before. Maybe I'm a noob that way, but that's the first time I ever saw someone doing a tilted bottom like that, or doing a sloped bottom in a tank.
I see stuff on Reddit, and I'm like, I need another tank. I need to try to do a spin off of this and stuff of that. And I'm like, there's just so many scapes I want to do. It's just not enough room in the house. There's not enough room.
Do you
These
get
rocks are actually
fish
my.
breeding in your tanks at all?
I mean,
Oh,
the
go ahead.
endlers, of course, and the
Go ahead
shrimp,
with
they're
what you were
breeding
gonna say.
like
Yeah,
crazy. I haven't had anything with
yeah,
the. But I don't have a mop in here. These guys like want like this special mop type of deal, and I'm not. I'm not even like entertaining that idea yet. There's too many in here. I'm pretty sure they'll just eat them. And I just
probably.
put those two epistogrammas in here that I wanted to breed. That was my plan. I was gonna take everything else out, and it was just gonna be a pistogramma tank. And I, first of all, I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out most of the fish. They're like the blue-eyed rainbow fish. They're so small, and the ember tetras. There's ember rasboras. They're so tiny, and there's so much going on in there. It's like they just wouldn't. They weren't having it. And I'm like, all right, you guys can stay here, and we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully, and that there hasn't
Yeah.
been any issues in terms of aggression from what I could see. There's so much hiding in it, you could barely see through the tank. So they're pretty chill. People on one of my videos were saying that the honey gouramis were gonna fight the pistogrammas were gonna beat up the honey gouramis. The pistogrammas were gonna beat up the honey gouramis, and I watched it so many times, and they will swim right next to each other. Don't even the honey gouramis chase each other more than the pistogrammas never chase the honey gouramis. So it's working out fine for now. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I just added this guy. This is the albino.
That's
Ooh.
cool. You know, I find that a lot about advice about fish, what can go together, because even the stuff that we do is like that shouldn't work, but it does. And I think it has a lot to do with cover. I think the more plants you have, the hidey spots, the line of sight
for
stuff, you can get away with a lot of things that people say are a no.
Like this one, they say you can't have personal plecos with shrimp, and I have 4 of them in here. I was hoping for them to breed. I'm surprised they haven't bred by now. But I have like 300 shrimp in here, and I watch the shrimp eat the same pellet as the personal pleco all the time.
Mhm.
And they don't do anything, and the personal pleco is so much bigger than the shrimp. You were talking about this ember,
I
this
can't-
blue. You have that one too, right? This blue Endler.
Blue Star?
Yeah, you see him?
Sword.
Ours is Blue Star.
I'm not sure what
Yeah,
blue this is, but it's
that's
very
a beautiful
blue.
tail. Ours is a little bit different. It's more close like a, I don't know, closer
Like
like
a
a
sword.
black barb with no red in it, really.
Oh,
That's got a beautiful tail on it. I don't know what kind that would be, but we've been starting to get into endlers a little more since we got a few on accident. Well, kind of on accident. We got them as a tank rescue thing. We were helping with a local youth center and helping them with their tank problems, and they had just way too many guppies in there. And I told them, at least get rid of the females, keep the colored ones so they don't breed so much.
Yeah.
Anyways, I said, any extra ones, if you don't feel like bringing them back, we'll take them off of your hands, or we can buy them from you, whatever you'd like. And they just kind of went through and scooped a bunch out and had them ready for us, and they ended up being some beautiful endlers, male and females, and they've been breeding, and they're just almost like a pure line black bar endler.
Yeah, it's
So
really
that
cool.
Worked out for
Like-
us. So
like,
ever
why
since
you
we
wanna-
got those, we've been kind of getting into them.
Yeah, I bought so many different variations and colors, and now that they're having kids with each other, I'm getting all these different, like I would call them custom or unique ones that I don't see anywhere. And I think that's pretty cool about the endlers. That they're just like people like you using a whole 90 for endlers and shrimp, and I'm like, yep. I want to see what happens. I want to see how many shrimp I could get out of this thing. I actually traded some shrimp for the coral
That's
that I
cool.
put in, not coral, the rocks that I put in my saltwater tank. There's like a local fish hobbyist Long Island group, and I go on there and I'm like, who wants to trade? I have 300 shrimp. I'm looking for some saltwater stuff. I'll trade you 20 shrimp for rocks, and people were like, yeah, me. And I drive over there and I trade things. It's great. I love that that's like an option.
That's great. Yeah. Well, we're a little jealous about that too. I know that on your live stream that you were talking about you got a fish store just kind of down the street. You can walk to it.
Yeah, I
Is that
walk there
right?
all the time.
I mean, like we got a 30-mile drive just to get to ours. Go ahead. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish
Although
stores over
it'd be
here, but
kind of bad for us too.
that one really got me hooked because I would take the kids in there all the time, just as like something to do. And I knew I wanted it, but then it was constant reassurance that like I need to do this, and then here we are 5 tanks later.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I was like, I see a lot of people do YouTube channels, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. Cause I mean, I'm not like gonna post every day or whatever. I'll just do things what I want to do, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
I
Man.
do think I need to rebrand. Though,
I enjoy your
because that other
channel.
guy. What was that? Sorry.
Like what? As far as name and stuff.
My
or
name,
what?
because there's the Rob's Aquatics, and anytime I tell anybody my name, like my
Yep.
friends or whatever, Rob's Aquatics comes up first, and I don't even come up at all. And it's fair. I only have like
Right.
a couple hundred, and he has 20,000 subscribers or whatever it is. And so I'm like, my wife said, "You're gonna have to change your name." I'm like, and someone even commented in the video like, "You trying to leech off of Rob's Aquatics?" I'm like, "Not at all. I had no idea this guy existed." And it's impossible for people to search
Right.
me. So I think I'm gonna have to change my name. I haven't thought of what it should be yet, but I think I'm going to, just for the ease of searching, without
Right.
a link. But yeah,
That's the
that's some good
thing.
stuff.
You know, I mean, either that or you can just keep it until you grow as bigger than him, and then he'll have to change his name. People like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess
think
that's like his
they're
whole life,
talking
though.
about you, and when they stop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like his
I get
job,
it.
I think.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, do what you want on that. That's why I like your videos, because it's purely you and what you do with your fish. You can see elements of your home, your home life, and that's what I like when I watch channels, is seeing real people doing this.
Thank you.
And
The
not just
production
something
value
just
is extremely
so
low.
highly productive. That's the way we like it.
I did in
when
the
I saw
beginning
your
try to
channel and I
edit.
got, yeah,
No, go ahead.
the edits are. Well, I was just.
I did in the
was
beginning,
just
and then
gonna
I got
say
over it real
that. I'm still kind of going through that phase. Like sometimes I want to do a little more, but I'm finding ways to doing less is more. But when I first saw your channel, and it wasn't too long after we started doing this gig too, and then we got tied in with these fish fam people everywhere, and learning like different people, this group of people that we've gotten to know on YouTube, and it's all through like sharing, like, hey guys, have you seen this channel yet? You've seen this channel? And I'm like, I've got one. You guys gotta see Rod. And I put that out there a couple times, and then after we started doing more and more live streams, I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if we could get Rod on here? But I don't know how to get a hold of him. It's YouTube. It's like you can't even like directly message people. So I'm like, well, I'm going to take the chance, and I'm just going to put it on a comment. It's like, and I don't like doing that because it's like self-promoting on someone's other's channel, and I didn't want to do that, but I just wanted to find a way to ask you to come on, do a live show with us. And I think on the last
think of it
live
that
stream
way.
I was talking about you, and somebody must have contacted you or told you, because we were looking for a way to get a hold of you somehow.
Yeah, I
Or
was.
somebody must have known how to get a hold
Somebody
of you.
somebody commented on my video saying that you brought them to my video, and I was like, oh, they're probably, because I was where was I? I was in Aruba, and I'm like, oh, I wonder how did I come up? And then I went and I looked at the live stream replay, and then I saw what you guys said, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, I appreciate the shout out. And then so I saw the email, and I emailed you guys, and apparently our emails are just not compatible. So, but it all worked out.
That's
So we're
weird.
here.
Just using Gmail.
I know. I
don't
did.
know.
I tried a Gmail one too. It still didn't work out.
Yeah, strange. I think when Jeff Kane was here the other day, he probably got into stuff like distracted us with the fish. Like, here's some cool fish and plants. Why don't you, I mean, like, okay. And we're working on those tanks over here, and he probably hacked into the computer system. I know it. Mr. Kane's sneaky that way.
For sure.
I love Jeff. He's great, and you've seen a few people interacted with these hooligans that we have in our live stream, and I just wanted to bring some attention to your channel, man, and let people see what you got to offer. Because what's cool about doing this YouTube gig, whether or not you get paid for it at all, which we're entirely not.
Yeah,
we're working at trying to get there. It'd be cool to do that, but what's the best thing is like the interaction, seeing other people's stuff, and getting to know them, being able to ask questions to people that are become friends online, and kind of grow in the hobby that way. And it's just it's kind of like an online club, so to speak, because we've never been a part of a fish club. There's none around here real close by, and so it's kind of been our little group of people, and they've been around long before we started doing anything on YouTube or doing anything with fish even, and kind of bring people in and
yeah, it's been great.
Be part of the group is a nice thing, man.
I appreciate it.
You
I really
probably know these people before we did. I don't know.
I don't know.
So what other plans you got just besides your bedroom tank, or is that kind of the only thing?
So I got to take it easy.
On the go
I
right now.
added the 90 this year, and then after I got the 90, my local fish store guy, he gave me the 30 I have in my other room, and I came back with the 30, and my wife's like, "You just got a 90." I'm like, "Well, this was free." Like, what am I supposed to do? Not take it? and so, and then
makes total sense to me, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I acquired a 30. It's like a taller one. It was like a 40 something or whatever, but it was just a 30 but taller. And she's like, "No, like you can't do it." I'm like, "All right, where are you gonna put it?" I'm like, "I'll find a spot." I'm like, "I'll find it," because I like having so much different options. Like I have my rainbow fish tank, I have my antler and shrimp tank, and then my pistol grandma tank, and my schooling fish tank on the other side. That's wide open. This is so much I want to do, and I just there's just not enough. There's just so much I want to do, and now that I'm getting the taste of saltwater, I'm like, we went to the store yesterday, and it was like a 190-gallon saltwater tank for $2,000, and I was like, "Wouldn't this look sick in the living room?" She was like, "It would." I'm like, "But it's not happening," and we were just laughing. I'm like, because the saltwater is so much money, it's ridiculous. Like my saltwater setup that I have in my bedroom, it's only a 20-gallon all-in-one, but I bought the skimmer, I bought it auto top off, I bought like these all the extra accessories, and it's just a 20-gallon tank, and it cost me as much as my 90-gallon tank did, like with all the other stuff involved, just like for the glass. And I'm like, "Yo, this is crazy. Saltwater's just so expensive," and everything about it is just, and the bigger you go, it's just like a bigger skimmer. Everything gets really expensive really fast. I saw a guy selling a full setup for a 30-gallon for $3,000, and I was like, "Dude, for $3,000, I could do 3 125s
oh my God,
of freshwater fish, and I could just reuse my plants." Like I just with my other with the 30 and the 20 over here, I just took plants from the 90. I didn't even buy any more plants, And so with the plants, it's just so easy to just continue to grow and grow and grow, because you could just keep using your own stuff. That's what I like so much about it. And honestly, I'm still all about the plants. I'm just testing out the saltwater to appease my wife and prove that I can do it. I just feel like it's a challenge so much more than it is anything else. when I look at these tanks, I'm like, this feels like real life to me. You know, I don't live in the coral ocean. You know, so when I see this, I picture
right,
like when I go down to the local river or stream or whatnot. You know, like this is what you would see, rather than I have nowhere.
Right.
I don't live anywhere near any flame torch corals or what was it, a blue tangs. You know.
Yeah, right. It's completely different when you're talking tropical saltwater fishes. The equipment, like you said, I know that stuff gets really pricey, and that I guess is part of also the scary part for me, because you invest in all this stuff, and then what if I'm not good at it? What if what if it just goes to hell and I got all this money invested into it? And I'm not trying to scare you, man, or anything. I'm glad you're doing it. I'm going to live vicariously through you for a little while.
You'll
through
see
some
the
other people and just kind of see how it goes.
I mean, I had a lot of, when I first started with, this was my first tank, the 125. And when I first started, I was having all types of like hiccups, issues, ick, and all that stuff, because I was just getting my like feet wet in the whole hobby. But now I feel like anything happens, I'm like, oh, all right. And I just like bang it out and know what to do real quick. And I don't even stress. It's like not a problem ever. The only like real actual mess up I had is when I was trying to get this wood to stay down, and I turned off the filters, because these fish need like a super high amount of oxygen in the water, and I didn't know that. And they were like gasping for air because I didn't have any of the surface tension moving. And these fish are only $10, $12 a piece. You know, the saltwater fish are like $80 a piece if you want to get a tank this big. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you lose a couple freshwater. It sucks. I hate losing fish.
Yeah, of course. Who likes losing fish?
It's not as hard on the pocketbook, for sure.
For sure.
It's kind of the difference between like going and get a cat or a dog from your local shelter or something, or you can go to the purebred breeder that's got, is sort of the same thing. You get into the high end pets, and you gotta be very careful. Yep. And I just don't have the budget for that. And
I hear you.
Maybe if I did one day, it's still, I don't know.
That's what I was trying to...
There's lots of ways that you can... Go ahead.
No, you're good. Lots of ways of what?
I was just saying there's lots of ways to have fun in this hobby other than blowing a bunch of money. It can be done on a cheaper basis, but it's still, like anything, requires something.
Yeah, of course. It depends on also like how crazy you want to get with it. I was trying to mimic scapes that cost a lot more money, where you could just have, it could be a lot more basic, and with freshwater you could really get away with. You could even just buy the 125 and fill it with just random things, and it would still look great. Like these rocks, these are pull-less rocks. And they're stupid. They're like $8 a pound. I'm like, I have to have them.
Wow.
I'm like, I have to have it. They're called Frodo rocks, and I got them off ColoradoRocks.com. And they just have so much character to them. Like they have like a lot of cracks, and like it just looks really detailed, and I like that. And they were so expensive. It was like $250 for just like this little pile of rocks. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing buying rocks? Sorry for cursing on the
There's
video.
a lot worse things you could spend money on, though. That's for sure. Always keep
that's what I told my wife. I'm like, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm like, this is my this is my thing, Yep. So she leaves me alone, and it looks cool.
That
so it's not like
as your kids get older, they're not going to play with so many toys, so you can kind of move over to the other side with more tanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my big. I wanted to get them out of here so bad because my biggest fear is my son, or like, I came down one time and my daughter's friends were playing, and he's just over here hitting the tank with like a rubber toy. No, like I don't keep anything down here like that should be able to break it, but nonetheless, I'm over here and he's hitting it with like a stuffed animal. I'm like, don't hit the tanks. Got anything but the tanks. Hit anything. Just don't hit the tanks.
Yeah. Hit the walls, punch some holes in the drywall, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Just leave the tanks alone.
That's what I tell them. I'm like, my niece and nephew come over, they're older, and I'm like, You guys can do anything you want in the basement. Watch the TV as loud as you want. Any movie you want on the surround sound. Do not touch the things. You can look at them, just don't touch them. And because they're kids, and I don't want to have them accidentally put something in it, and then the fish die. I'd be heartbroken if all this hard work, went down the drain.
Yeah. Does they have any interest in learning about the fish yet, or are they just kind of
they're too young.
At the pretty fish stage? Well, those are cool, but
my kids are that age for sure, and they're just the same. They're not super into it or anything. They just think, oh, cool fish. My in-laws think I'm crazy. They think I have an addiction. Another tank. I'm like, leave me alone. We all have our thing, all right? I don't want to hear it.
Yep. At least I'm not cooking meth down there, right?
Yeah, it could be worse. And I tried to monetize it a little bit, like, by starting the channel. And my wife was saying today, you never know, maybe something will eventually come of it. And then I sell plants on like that local page I was telling you about, and I trade like my shrimp or whatever. I only did the shrimp once, but these plants grow so fast when I was pumping the CO2 into it that I was selling like plant packs. So I was making like, I don't know, $20-$30 a week, which isn't a lot of money by any means, but it definitely supports the hobby, paying for the food and everything.
Yep, get it self-sustaining. That's our main goal of trying to do this. It'd be nice to get out of our humdrum jobs. That's cool.
Ooh.
You can kind of see them. I just moved some of the plants around. I really need to take out so much of these rubber floaters. I'll mail you guys a bunch if you want them.
We're always into taking plants, man.
I got too much all the time. I'm just throwing them out if no one buys them. But you wouldn't have to buy them, obviously. But just too much. Too much plants. What a problem.
We can get our emails to work.
Yeah.
I tell you my phone number now. I emailed it to you, but that didn't work. But I'm not.
I emailed mine to you and never got it. And you didn't text me back. I was like, so I don't know what's going on. Get me duckweed on my hand, sorry.
Been intercepted. Yeah, it definitely must have got hacked. I know it.
That's great. Now they're gonna have both our numbers. Whoever has
conspiracy.
I also tried.
Well, I wanted to take a quick moment just to. I made a promise to my coworker. There's a lady that I work with. She's got a grandson. His name is Harris, and he's started his own YouTube channel, and it's on YouTube Kids. So I don't know how I can Katie, if you can try to find the link on there or something. He's got a YouTube channel and it's doing pretty good. And I'm doing this as a favor because not only because I know his grandma, I work with her, but because I think it's adorable. His channel is called Harris the Weatherman, and he is how old did she say he was?
8.
He's 8 years old, and just smart as a whip, and just I don't know if that makes sense. He's super smart, okay, and he loves the weather. And so he has started doing his own like YouTube videos, and now is kind of gaining some traction a little bit. And his mom helps him out with doing the video, and it's all very amateur at this point, and that's kind of what makes it so adorable. But he actually will talk about the weather and give like a forecast based on what he's looked up on weatherchannel.com or whatever he does.
That's awesome.
But it's actually very accurate for our area. And he'll be like, okay, the next few days it's going to be raining. Only he says that he's an 8-year-old boy that's just never more excited about anything else than the weather. And you hear the energy in his voice. And he gets so excited he loses track of the things that he says, kind of like me. And I love him so much. So I told her, I'm like, in their next live stream, I'm going to give him a shout out. Harris the Weatherman. Katie she put it in the chat. I'm going to put it up on the main screen there. I believe that's the link to his channel. But if you can go over there, take a look at it. If you're into weather, if you think it's cute, give him a subscription. hit the sub for him and help this little kid out. He's just doing the best he can. In fact, the lady I work with, his grandma, she wanted to get him this weather station. It's on a tablet, little thing you can set up on the roof. And it was kind of expensive, and she was looking at one on Temu because it was cheaper or whatever. And she's like, I don't know, his birthday isn't coming yet. I'm like, though, if you buy that for him, he's going to go ape. If he gets that crazy over thunder in his video, like the thunder went off while he was doing the video, he's like, there's the thunder, and he was just like going crazy. He's going to go ape if he has his own tablet weather center. It tells him exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that'd be really
You're
nice.
a bad influence. She's like, you're a bad influence. I'm like, well, I'd love to have one of those. Imagine an 8-year-old kid that's trying to do his own weather video and having so much fun with it. Check it out. I guarantee, unless you're heartless, you're going to think it's adorable. He's just awesome. Help him out if you can. I appreciate it. That's all I got for a shout out.
I'm going to be learning about your local weather a lot more often than I thought I would.
Check out his different videos. He's got it down pat. He knows what he's going to do, but he's just a smart kid. And, it's cool that his parents are kind of feeding his dream, helping him out. That's what's cool, too. That helping him do what he wants to do. And, you never know. He might turn into like the next Reed Timmer or something. Because that's what he reminds me of, those storm chasers, only in little kid form. He gets that excited about it.
That's cool.
And aside from that, you guys make sure you check out Rod's channel for sure. That's why we're having him on here. Not just so much to promote him, but we just wanted to get to know you. That's the main reason we have these live streams and have a special guest on, is kind of get to know people on a personal basis. Some of the things we usually ask. Our first tank? Well, I mean, my first tank was probably back when I was in second grade, probably some kind of a fishbowl. It was one that was like rather short but long, bigger around, and I couldn't. My mom helped my sister and I with that, and we could never keep a goldfish living for very long. It was one of those things, like when it was time to clean it, we cleaned everything. Took them out, cleaned out everything, cleaned all the water, put city tap water back in there, and of course then they die. Then we'd take them outside, bury them, have a little funeral for them, and feel bad. But that was kind of our first thing. What was the first time you had a tank?
This one.
Anything early like that, or?
No, when I was younger, my best friend had 3 big tanks in his living room, and I always said, "Mom, I want a fish tank. I want a fish tank. I want a fish tank." And she's like, "You're not getting a fish tank. You're not getting a fish tank." I was like, "All right, well." And then I have my own house, and she come down here, and I tell my wife, "I'm getting a fish tank." She goes, "You're not getting a fish tank." I go, "Well, that's not gonna happen." I'm like, I've heard this my whole life. I'm getting a fish tank. She's like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "Okay." I waited like a year, and then I'm like, "I really want a fish tank." She's like, "No." And I said, "Okay, a small one." She goes, "All right, a small one." And then I walked through the door with this. And she's like, "You said a small one." I go, "There's bigger than this, I'm telling you." And she was like, "All right."
It's kind of like medium.
Yeah, I know. It's nothing. I mean, it's not small, but it's definitely bigger. And then that was it. And then once she like saw how it was, she started to love it, and now it's just been growing. And now she loves it. Like I'll catch her looking in the tanks, and I think it's really tranquil. Like I like to sit on the other side of this couch, and like if I'll read my Kindle or whatever, and like look back at the 3 tanks on the wall. It's just such a nice thing. I think. I don't understand how I tell everybody at work. I'm like, I don't understand how all of you don't have fish tanks. I'm like, you guys, like, it's too much work. I'm like, the work versus the pleasure it outweighs it 10 times. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's really not that bad. Especially if you get a heavily planted tank, your life's not gonna be hard. and you get to look at these beautiful fish all the time, and they're just happy to see
Right.
you. And if you get them to breed, like you were saying, hopefully one day that I get to that level. But it's just such a cool thing, I think. I'm sure you think similar.
This is just exactly my thoughts, because we started getting more and more tanks, and we found that we were spending more time watching the aquariums and watching the TV. You can watch like a million dumb TV shows or whatever, and don't get me wrong, I love watching movies and stuff, but now it's like every day we come out here, and either that or on our porch, but we come out here, especially in the wintertime, with our coffee and just sit in front of the tanks and just relax and chill and kind of ease into our mornings that way. And that's, and in the evenings, there's often times where I come home from work or even on my lunch break and I sit down, I start looking at the fish, and I gotta be careful. I think I gotta start setting an alarm, especially on like lunch breaks. Now, I live across the street from where I work, so I just come home, check on the tanks, make sure everything's good. If I plop down in a comfy chair in one of these and start watching, I'm out in no time. It's just something about the sound of the water, watching the fish is very peaceful. Nothing else relieves stress for me like an aquarium, and I really think that everyone should do it. It's a very there's not much in the world now that requires as much patience. It isn't so instantly gratifying as far as I want this and I want it now. You can watch something grow and learn to appreciate it. And there's
100%.
It's been discussed so many times about that, but it's definitely something that I don't understand why more people wouldn't get into it. And they talk about the work, and you were talking about if you have more plants, and that's a thing that's sometimes has been controversial to even talk about on YouTube is that kind of stuff. But everyone I know that I talk to personally about successful aquariums loaded with plants, especially freshwater stuff, just lots of plants, and it really eases up on some of that. I think the industry is so directed towards selling stuff that it can be intimidating for someone to try and get into it, because they feel that they have to test the water every day and do all this and that and that and that. It's, I'd rather just buy a cat and let it poop in a box, and it's fine. Scoop that out every once in a while. It's a lot easier, but they don't know it. I think educating people is a good thing. That's probably a good thing of having YouTube, right?
When I first started,
seeing your videos where you're showing your experiences.
Yeah, for sure. When I first started, I was buying like Kimmy Pure Blue and Purigen and checking the water weekly, and I'm like, I have to do all these things to keep the water pristine. I have to do it, blah blah blah. And then as I've sold, like now I don't put any of that in. Now with all these, I've noticed like when you have all these plants, you don't need any of that fancy smancy stuff. The plants do it all for you. I mean, you still need a filter. I mean, technically you could probably get away with it depending on the fish, but I still like to have the filter. But you don't need all these super expensive things that the hobby pushes on you, like you said. They're just trying to make money. Like you go to the store, you see beta water. It's literally just water with a drip of prime in it. It's everything.
Yeah, I saw that. Like,
it's crazy.
Okay.
Beta fix. Like it's all just marketing, and meanwhile, all you have to do is put as many plants as you possibly can inside your tank right off the bat, and then you'll be good. It'll make your life so easy.
Yeah.
Spend more money on plants than anything. Just load it.
I found that in a quick
plants.
hurry. And what's awesome about plants is, it's fun breeding fish, and then you got like free fish, right? And it's like, ooh, that's a free fish now. I didn't have to buy that fish. I made my own.
Cool.
Plants are even better that way. You can propagate plants like crazy. You can buy a few, and like you're experiencing, you keep trimming them back, but you could take those and replant them. And you don't have to start out buying a whole bunch of plants. You can buy a few varieties of each, and they'll take care of themselves.
For sure. I wanted to comment on what you said about how you
I put a comment on there just from Aquafunk because it's good to kind of give him a little bit of attention now and then. He's kind of an attention hog. And we don't get the trolls on here as much as he does, and so it's a way for him to kind of just lash out. You know, he's going to try and be the troll for now. It's all right, Aquafunk. We get you, and we're here for you, man. You just go on. Do what you need to do as long as you feel better, and we're here for you. You know, say the things you want to say that makes you feel better about yourself.
I can't see the chat, so I don't know what's going on.
He says, I'm going to be the anti-plant guy from now on, he said.
I wanted to comment on what you said before about like
I love Aquafunk.
Coming home from work and like being able to look at your plants as like a break. When I'm down here and I'm playing with the kids on this side, and it's getting like overwhelmed, you know, like I'm just like, I've had it up to here, and I'm like, I just need a 10 second. I'll lay down on the floor right here, and I put my feet up to the bottom of the top of the wood, and I'm like, Daddy's taking a fish break, and my daughter will be like, oh, Daddy's taking a fish break, and she'll come lay next to me, and we'll both just like look at the tank, and she's like, why do you need a fish break? I'm like, it's too hard to understand. Daddy just needs a couple minutes with the fish just to get back down to neutral, all right? And she's like, okay. It's so funny because, you know, sometimes kids could be a lot, so it helps you like reset a little bit, and she respects it, so it's cool. She'll be like, can I come?
You ever try that with her if she ever gets like out of hand?
A fish break?
Like, yeah, like if she starts getting a little bit, you know, unruly or something, kind of, you know.
I should try that.
Kids all go through that. Be like, yeah, why don't you try doing a fish break and see if she'll like lay down and do that, and maybe it'll. Maybe it might be a way to get her into it.
She's 3 years old and she does not accept logic. I can lay out the it's plain as day. It makes complete sense. And she'll be like, no, and I'm like, okay, you're 3, you win. But yeah, whatever. So I take my fish breaks, and it's the best. So that's pretty cool that you get to do it at work. I work too far from home to do that. So, but that would be cool. Yeah. I've been toying with the idea of making a tank at work, and my coworkers are like, you're the only one who's going to take care of it. I'm like, it won't be a problem. And they're like, but we're going to mess with it. I'm like, well, then I'll be pissed off. I'm like, I'm going to do all this work, and you guys going to... They're like, we'll throw a hot dog in it, get piranhas. I'm like, no, I'm not getting piranhas. I'm like, those fish are actually overrated from what I read on Reddit. But then I was like, you know what? Yeah. I decided I'm not going to bring this here because you guys are going to torment these fish, and it's going to... You don't love them like I do. And I don't want to... Yeah. I don't want to see you harass them.
That's what I was thinking, too. I'm like, well, I'd love to set up a tank there, but I wouldn't be able to trust the guys I work with would totally mess with it. They'd probably... A lot of them are fishermen. They probably, like, catch something out of the lake and toss it in there and just to see what happens. They've already threatened to do that with our outdoor ponds. Like, I'm going to get some carp, and we're going to get some this and that, and we're just going to throw it in there. And I'm like, it's probably best for you if you don't.
Oh, speaking of turtles, I saw this guy on YouTube. I don't know his channel, so I'm not trying to shout out or anything. But he had this soft-shell turtle that would like go under the sand and just like poke his head out. And I thought it was the coolest thing. I'm like, babe, we gotta get a turtle. Like, do you see this thing? And she's like, you're not getting a turtle. I'm like, but look, it's cute as his head is poking out of the sand, and he's just chilling. I'm like, the coolest thing. And she's like, we're not, because apparently you needed like at least like a 75 for this particular one. And she's like, no, you're not getting another one. You're not getting another one. Like, but it's a turtle, and it's different.
Exactly. We've been toying around with that idea. Katie really wants one. I wouldn't mind. What kind of turtle do you want?
Just something small.
Why don't you talk more? Because, you know, I talk way too much. It's your turn. You talk to Rod. Ask him some questions. I'm not even going to walk away from this. Look, she's going to do fine. Look into the camera. She can hold her own. I got to take a break for a sec. I'll be right back. Go, Katie!
Well, I'm not sure when I stepped away if Jake asked you this or not, but how long have you had tanks total?
It's just 3 years now.
Okay.
So it's still relatively, I guess, new into the hobby, but I hit the ground running, and so I accelerated it pretty quickly.
Do you still have certain fish that you want to keep that you don't have now?
I used to have bigger fish in this tank. I used to have all South American cichlids, and I really liked the way they looked, but I didn't like the way that they behaved. I thought it was just boring because they just kind of sat and they had like territories and they would just like chill. Like I like how fish just constantly swim and swim and swim, and I feel like that's more tranquil.
Yep.
I kind of dodged the question a little bit. I kind of wanted to try an African cichlid tank, but I decided that I wanted to do something like this because once I did my 90 and I got it heavily planted, I fell in love with the plants, and you can't really do the plants like you can with a rainbow fish, with a African cichlid, and so I ended up with this, and I am actually happy that it did this. Bucket list wise, I kind of want to get like a puffer fish. I was thinking about that instead of the rainbow fish, like one of those big puffer fish that you got to feed clams. I think it'd be cool to at one point have one of those in like a big tank. I would say, yeah. And I kind of had like a thing for stingrays at one point, but just the tank needed for that is just too much. Too much at the moment in time.
Yeah, same here.
What about you?
Well, they do make smaller ones.
Smaller
well, my
stingrays?
210 is going to have, yeah, they do. Somebody in Wisconsin here had some for rehoming, but I'm like, nope, our tank's not even set up, so I haven't even kept them yet, so I just push that off to the side. But the 210 is going to be a big tank with monster fish in it.
That's going to be awesome.
I don't think so. Maybe.
I actually, like, when I made this, I was like, oh, I could have did, like, tons and tons of tiny fish. Because the rainbow fish ended up being, like, 4 inches, 5 inches. And I saw, MD Tanks, that YouTuber. He has an 8-foot tank, and he's a huge, big time YouTuber, different country, and he did an 8-foot tank with all like nano, like not like smaller fish like neons and rasboras, and it's just massive. And I'm like, that's pretty cool because it's actually like they probably feel like they're in a lake, because it's so big. So I'd like to do something like that. Get a huge one and have small fish, and then get a huge one and have big fish next to it.
Right.
That would be cool.
That's kind of what I wanted to do with Katie's tank too, is fill a bunch of I wanted to see how many neon tetras I could put in it. Just because I'm just a fool for neon tetras. The most common, popular aquarium fish there is, and I love them to death.
They're cool, Very cool.
It's just something from childhood,
For sure. It's funny because...
let us know if we're keeping you too late from your stuff, I don't want to keep you away from your maintenance and stuff, but we can keep on going, but usually around the 1 hour... Well, it's just something I touch on about the 1 hour mark and just make sure that we're not keeping you from stuff because, we all got lives.
No, it's fine.
But we can keep on going if you want.
I get it. No, we could hang it up. We could just... I feel like we've covered a lot. We've talked about a lot. I could talk about fish all day. like you said, it's not...
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a fish group that I'm in. It's just like a Facebook that trades stuff on here and there. It's not often, unless I'm in a fish store, that I have somebody to talk to about tanks that is as passionate as we are about tanks. You know what I mean? So I could talk. Right. Every time we meet somebody, like, I'm like, my wife will be like, oh, I met this other couple at my daughter's dance class or whatever. I'm like, any chance this guy's a fish guy? Is there any chance?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to find
Get it.
another person that is into fish that lives by me, you know. And she's like, she just like,
Yeah.
you always ask that. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to find another person who's got cool tanks, you know. I just appreciate it, you know. It's a niche hobby.
It's a harder thing to find for us locally around here. I mean, we've met a few people, but you know, most of the fish freaks that we know about are all through YouTube, and so it's a cool place to do that. Kind of get to know other people. Like there's Mexicali on here. He'll probably try and snatch you up next. He'll try to get you on his show.
Oh, all right, cool.
He's just saying hello. Mexicali's really cool. That's Jorge. You've probably seen Skull. That was the first guy I told you about. Told about your channel too. Curtis, he's awesome dude. We got Shady Grady in the house. He's Boston, right? Am I right about that, Shady? Yeah, he's in Boston. So you guys got similar accents. You can probably get along with him fine.
No.
Didn't mean to be. Aquafunk is really cool. Like you can watch his streams and he'll just make you laugh, man. He'll make you laugh or make you scream at him. He's just really, really cool guy. It's just hilarious to watch his streams. Empire of Dirt, Jeff Kane, super knowledgeable guy. Man, he just, when it comes to fish breeding and different types of fish, and he just has a wealth of knowledge. Very down to earth, cool guy. Willing to help with any kind of questions you got about anything.
Nice.
There's just a ton of people in the chat now. I want to make sure you guys, you know, I've said it before already, and I'm going to say it a couple more times. It's done. Somebody can get his give Rod's link back to his channel up on there. Please check him out. See what he's got on there. And when you subscribe to that, make sure you leave a comment in one of his videos so it sticks, because it seems like sometimes you can do these live streams with people and you'll get a flood of a few subscribers coming in, and then it kind of disappears, and I don't know what that's all about. But I've heard that sometimes when you subscribe like that and then you just leave the channel, it doesn't stick unless you actually at least watch a video. And I don't want anyone to just like blindly subscribe, which a lot of us will do sometimes just to show support. But to me, if the person's got something that you want to actually see, then subscribe. So watch a couple of his videos first, find out what he's all about. What's cool about you, Rod, what I like is that, I've said it probably once already, that's just you doing your fish things. Nothing super fancy about it, but that's what's appealing about it. It's like
it's kind of like you're showing an ease in the hobby.
Yeah.
Like there's not a whole ton of work to it, and you just enjoy it.
Appreciate
and
that.
And the fact that it's just you. So when you subscribe to Rod, you're gonna find out that when he puts out a video, you're gonna want to watch it, because it's not anything super elaborate, and he doesn't like try to tell you how to do anything. He's just showing you what he's doing. And it's always interesting to see the progress of what he's doing. And I hope you always stay that way, man. Just show the progress of how you're doing your tanks. Like, this is what I worked on, and this is what I got going on. And that's what's cool. Because when the next video comes out, and it can be on your own time, we're there. We're gonna see it. We're gonna get notified. And every time I see, oh, Rod's got a new video out, and I tell Katie right away, and we gotta watch it every time. And
I appreciate that very much.
we're just weird
Thank
fans that way.
I appreciate it.
I
actually needed to hear that because
Yeah.
my latest video I did like a clickbaity title because that's like the algorithm to get anyone to see your stuff on YouTube, and I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that makes clickbaity titles, and I'm like, I'll try it once.
Well,
And so you saying that is actually pretty refreshing. So we'll go back to what I used to do and just say
it's
what I'm
not
doing.
so bad to do that, you know. Clickbait is one thing. Being enticing, showing some kind of, have something that's of interest in the thumbnail or in the title, that's cool. it's only clickbait when it's something completely different than what you're going to show. You know, it's
Then no, I
cool to
didn't mean it
leave
that
it
way.
be a mystery. Like, I got these new fish, or something that makes someone want to see what you're showing. But if you be like, yeah, I've got 3 naked ladies swimming in my tank, you want to see it, and then it's it's nothing but you like kind of trimming some plants. That's clickbait.
All right. Well,
So there's
I'll take
a
that.
difference. But
I
I like
appreciate you guys
the
having
way
me
you're
on.
doing things now.
I enjoy
Oh, for
watching you
sure.
guys' videos
I'm-
as well. You guys make me want to do a
Thank
little
you.
bit more production value. I don't
Well,
even put
we've got to
songs in
do a
half my
little
stuff.
more value. We got to do a little more videos. Lately, last month we only put out 1 video. We did a bunch of shorts, lots of live streams, and only one regular video is what it said. And man, we gotta. So that's why we're trying to step. I'm trying to step back because I do all the video production work on like editing and whatnot. Trying to step back on that a little bit, and doesn't have to have a bunch of sound effects and titles going through it. Maybe what we're trying to do now is do some like tank spotlight. It's like our last video that we did. I just filmed it and then did a voiceover on it. And just, even it was kind of goofy or whatever, but talking about the fish in it. So I think we're going to do that a few times with the different tanks. Just shoot some footage of it, go back, cut it so it looks nice, and then just talk over it. And I can do that in less than an hour. And it's
for sure.
way easier, less stressful.
I look forward to watching it.
It's hard,
Thanks for
man.
having
You know,
me,
when
guys.
you work a full-time job and try to do this,
For sure. I feel the same way. That's why sometimes I
Anytime.
go a long time without watching. Posting. Yeah. But yeah,
right?
I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Well.
I happy we finally got to talk in person on video. And I look forward to seeing your next videos. You guys have a good
We
one.
should do another live stream sometime.
Will do. Yeah.
Likewise, you too.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Bye.
You too. Good night, man. Well, that was awesome. I'm glad he got to show up.
Yeah, that was totally awesome.
You know, and I even put him through my blabbermouth phase where he had to listen to me go on and on and on. What's that like, Katie?
I guess I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, it looks like this camera works all right for this. Maybe I'll just leave this old camera up all the time and not use it for anything but like the live stream.
Till we figure the other one out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I almost gave up. I was going to call it and be like, nah. Because once I get mad, it's just like, you know what, just forget about it. I'm done. But that usually just entices me to try even harder. So does anyone know, I thought I saw her in the chat earlier. It was Jamie? Is that her name? So I'm like, she left a comment on one of our posts that she wanted to get a hold of Katie. I wasn't quite sure. What it was about. But we did have the email up on the screen, so if Jamie was in the house, saw this, that's how you can contact us. In the meantime, if you need to talk to us, got a message, a question, something like that, other than using comments, that's fine too. But it's kind of hard to start a conversation through comments on a video. So anyone that sees our gmail.com, HagenHillsDesign@gmail.com, you got a question for us, you want to be on the show, want to talk to us, whatever. That's how we can get the communication started. It was a decent show tonight, and I'm glad you guys came along. Make sure you, like I said, check out Rod's channel, check out Harris the Weatherman. Make sure you give that kid a little subscription. Check it out if you guys are into weather at all. And if you feel like watching our videos, that'd be cool too. Most of you all do. I know you all do. Really appreciate it. Aquafunk. I'd like to say a little something about Aquafunk.
Keep it PG.
Aquafunk is the next best thing. I don't know if that makes any sense. Aquafunk is the new era in fish entertainment. Aquafunk. He will let you know which parts to lick. Aquafunk. Alright. That's all I want to do. It's time to get on with this. Thank you guys for watching. And Katie, do you have anything special to say to everyone that's watching?
Did you tell everybody we started setting up the pond?
Oh, that's right. We did.
The big one.
We took some video of it, and Jeff was over the other day. He kind of saw some of it, but we've been working on the more different stages of doing something different with the whole waterfall, how we had it before. So we're going to put some videos up about that. And, of course, our tank spotlight videos, we're going to do more of them. As you saw in
the greenhouse,
one of our shorts, we had some new plecos come into the building, which are totally awesome. They're growing really fast. And, yeah, our greenhouse. We got some plants finally planted in there. Got to do all that. We got so much to do. Emily Hill. You hit the nail on the head, baby. Aquafunk. The funking best. Love it. If I can't think of the right thing to say, my daughter Emily will definitely come up with it. Jeff said that Jill really liked the pond. I'm glad. Seemed like she was kind of into the greenhouse too. Although we didn't have much to show you in there because nothing, I mean, it was all kind of disheveled and unorganized and dirty or whatever, but we're working on it.
Yep.
You know, that's life. That's life here for us because it's like working our full-time jobs and trying to use all the rest of our energy for good things afterwards. Cake is doing a pond too, he says.
Yes.
Shellfish, of course. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 ponds.
Set up.
Normally we have 5.
We had 7 one year.
Yeah, that's right. That was a year like, oh, we can make a pond out of that. We can make a pond out of this. Katie found a boat. She's like, I'm going to make a pond out of it. I'm like, ooh, how?
Who kind of took that one over?
Well, I did.
A little bit.
No, it was your idea. It's just, that's usually how it works. You have these ideas.
And then you run with it.
I got to make sure it functions.
Okay.
But you make it pretty. You like I'm on this and that and that and that. And then I got to kind of figure out how the water's going to pump and flow and do things. And it's a good match.
It works.
It works. It works. Jake, it works. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, I appreciate your help. Yeah.
I appreciate that you appreciate my help. Oh, man.
Well, I should probably go check on dinner.
Dinner?
Yeah.
I love dinner. Especially after a stressful time like that. Oh, yeah, if you guys watched in the beginning, put the plants in, blah, 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 blah. Jake just puts plants in it. Katie does a lot of the plants.
Well,
got-
Emily says it smells good in the house, so it's probably
Oh,
her
that's
kitty.
right. You had like a crock pot going for a while.
Yeah,
I
there's a
walked
pot
in
roast
I was
in
like,
there.
what is that? Emily's inside the house right now, smelling the good smells. Oh, I wanted to put this up here. Elfish says, Jeff can do a kayak pond.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be awesome. Man, I miss my kayak. That's besides the point. And the El Presidento of the Itty Bitty Vitty Committee. Remember that. Alright. Oh my god, you guys are so much fun. I'm gonna have you all over. That's what we gotta have to do, is like big old grilling cookout, and you're all invited. We're all gonna hang out, we're gonna look and talk about fish, and we're gonna like splash around in the water, and we're gonna like eat some good food, listen to awesome music, camp out. Man, it's gonna be great.
Is it Hagen Hill Fest?
Something like that. We gotta do something.
We're doing pot roast with mashed potatoes, gravy, and green beans, aqua funk.
Did you told me what we're gonna eat?
Yeah. He asked what it was for dinner.
No, I'm not surprised anymore.
Doesn't mean I didn't tell him everything.
I'll still eat the living poop out of it, but you know. God, you're a good cook. All right. I know, definitely shows. We can start drinking. We ain't biting. That's a good shirt. All right, everyone. Thanks for showing up. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Just a little reminder. I know most everyone does, but I forget sometimes until I hear somebody say it. So hit the like button. Help us out. We appreciate it. And I think that's all we got for tonight. Maybe one more thing. Just a little something. I love you guys. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Good night.